advertisers and management company of Sugar City FM 90.3. Nor are such statements necessarily supported or endorsed by the owners, managers, or advertisers of the station. While we encourage all to share their opinions, we do not support any comments that may slander, discriminate, or otherwise offend anyone, and we insist that you refrain from any such statements.
Fellow citizens, near and far, join Newrish Nital on Sugar City 90.3 for Fear No Favor.
Where is the cancer man? No runner come out for war.
Tune in to 90.3 on your FM dial. Log on to SugarCityFMSaintKitts.com or download Simple Radio app from the Google Play Store. Enjoy Newrish Nital every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. as Newrish Nital tackles the issues and take your calls. Fear No Favor every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on Sugar City 90.3 FM.
Evening and welcome to Fear No Favor, and I have a special guest in the studio with me this evening in the person of Socrates, the world famous Socrates. Before we get into the sum and substance of tonight's program, I want to bring something to the public's attention. I went to Kian High School today to pick up my son to the first farmer there. And I realized that there was a potential for an altercation between two female students. One looked as if she is in first form and the other one in the fourth or fifth form. It took me 20 minutes. I took 20 minutes trying to avoid the eventuality. You had about 50-something students. Nobody from the school compound, whether security or teachers, came out to assist in my effort. And it was rather unfortunate. I know that school over about 2:15 because that is the day they normally would have teachers meeting. And maybe they could have been locked away in an air-conditioned room, but the amount of noise that was generated, you could have stayed in deep there and hear the commotion. Single-handedly, I'm trying to pat these two students. I asked the older one what happened. She said that the girl is busy talking bad things about she and her sister. I said, okay, then let's go into the head teacher and you relate the issue to the head teacher. She said she ain't taking on them, they're weak and it ain't make any sense going to them, they ain't doing anything. And I said, okay, but we could still go and try, I'm going to come with you. She decided, no way, she ain't going in there to them, she fed up at them. And then she started trying to fight off the little girl. I said, okay, I'll call the police. She said, who feared police? And so she started beating up on the little girl and other people joining. Everybody see the videos going around, different clips of it because it was quite lengthy. It's only when a lady came down the road and I had the opportunity to leave an adult in the midst of them that I jumped in my vehicle and I went to the police station. And I told the police that they had to come to the Kian High School just outside the school gate immediately, if not sooner. And the two police officers came up. But I jumped in my vehicle and I went to take home my son because I had to come back to town to teach a math class. The funny thing about that, people see them as school children. I sat in a meeting with this youth and justice system where they're trying to protect the children them from going into the major justice system, so they're doing all they can do. And I'm warning them they have to be very, very careful because some of them quite aware that no police would get involved and this and that on the tower. But we have to come better than that. We have to send a message, and the message must have teeth along with it. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. You have about 6 portions of the video going around making the rounds. But that is not the end of it, because they have to understand that you have some persons who used to behave in a kind of antisocial way. We call them gang members and whatever. Everybody who going to school would have some affiliation with those guys who one time used to be part of gangs, or they have peace right now. But a peace is so difficult to maintain right now because of certain challenges. Now, when someone called me and asked me if I was there, they understand, they see it in the video, what information I could give them because they want to go there and take the revenge for the family member. So you see, just not there between the school children. Plus the girl who they beat up was from Tabernacle. So you can imagine the real gang war that used to exist between people from down there and Keon and those things could just be ignited again. And nobody gonna watch a family member getting beaten up like that. 3 persons team up on a little girl. But we'll see how that goes, and I guess we got to send the appropriate message. We have to be very, very, very careful. Because you don't know who knows who. And you got to be mindful that a fight never, just like singing Sanja said, a war never ends yet. Nobody ever wins a war. A fight never finishes yet. Well, I got to get into, and the funny thing about it, my sister, she is doing a magic program talking to students about these stuff. And she told me, bro, it's just today, she was at the Kean High School talking to them about how to deal with situation like that. I also understand that the Prime Minister went over there. He was kind of appalled the state of Kean High School. You don't even have sufficient chairs for the people them to sit in. They had a whole summer that school should have been outfitted to facilitate the students. So sometimes you wonder what would cause students to behave in a kind of way. And I'm understanding that there were marijuana involved, and over there is heavily smelling of marijuana. Well, I wish them well. I still would do what I have to do. I go around to the schools and try to discourage people from getting involved in drugs and other substances. Now my sister has been given the job from a sergeant of police in Dita Powell to go to the schools to continue the magic program. I think that it was stopped under Team Unity. It will now continue, and it is actually timetabled on the school curriculum. So we'll see how that goes. And she's saying that she has to go over there tomorrow again. I mean, why somebody just don't talk to you? And the thing is, they had a fight yesterday.
Same school?
Two first farmers fighting for a fella in Fort Farm or Fifth Farm. And one of them whip out the weave out of the other one head. You see, we're giving them permission to wear a kind of hairstyle, And I indicated that those same hair, if not worn responsibly, would create havoc in the school for people. Piece of people's skull gonna come out. People gonna wrap things around people's neck. You understand? So we have to be mindful. We have to try to work with the young people, but we cannot overprotect them. They have to suffer some consequences. My thing is that they should have taken them down to the station and asked the parents them to come, and immediately engage the parents as to how they'll go about extending this olive branch. Lock them up, put them down in the station, put them on the bench, and let the parents them come to get the children, and then you could have an explanation. When are you going to have a meeting? Would it be at the school? Because police was called. So we'll see what happens along that line. I just wanted to give a very synopsis of what took place, where you would see me in the middle of about 50-something school children trying to prevent a fight from occurring. Now, Sakwa, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. The carnival season is fast approaching, right? And everybody expecting a lot. As a matter of fact, I got a message today invited me to some judges workshop. So I could been to about 100 of them. I don't know.
When is that for?
Um,
I may want to attend.
You didn't, or they didn't put you on the list. And it's Calypsonians who really need to be there, between us both. We Calypsonians need to be there because they need to better understand what the judges them looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And once you understand the criteria and somebody could explicate the criteria to you,
Mm-hmm.
then you could compose accordingly. So we'll see. It came out today. There's a number. Yeah.
Well, first off,
yeah.
good evening to your listenership, your viewers. It's Andre back here in Sugar City Rock. I'm going to give you a story that started here 23 years ago. Exactly 23 years ago.
2000.
Started year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
My then MC, Sandra D.
Yes.
Byron, and I came to launch the tent to inform the public of the tent. Right here on the station was the first place we came to announce the formation of the Legends tent 23 years ago. I want to ask the young lady engineer how old she was before she was born.
Maybe before.
Maybe before.
I think she about 22 or so. I don't know.
So before you were born,
23.
young lady, we came
23.
here, Sandra B and I myself came here to launch the Legends Calypso tents. It's now 23 years old, and it started right here in terms of sharing information with the public.
So we are back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
What are the immediate plans for your tent?
Immediate plans as far as the public needs to know, we plan to launch the first tent on the 5th of November. We start rehearsing on the 15th at our band house. The Calypsonians have been updated. We meet with the band on Saturday for orientation. We have one or two new band members. And we have about roughly 3 weeks of rehearsals. Pardon, in case you're wondering, I ate some potato chips before I got here.
If it's that you call it.
Yeah, I have to explain because my voice is all challenged. So it's potato chips, nothing else. So it's a bit gravelly at the moment, yeah.
Okay.
Just letting you know,
I saw
potato chips.
I saw a little bit.
You got fought in my
I saw a
thorax.
little bit of here on your
I don't have a hair ball. It wasn't at all. So yes, those are the plans in terms of, you mentioned Carnival is fast approaching. Nothing happens without the Calypsos. The launch of the Calypso tents, the new songs on the airwave. I was at a particular station yesterday, and they're playing ballads from North America, and I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? Back in the day when we had like one radio station that heralded that Carnival, the Calypso season was here, and we punk Calypso 24/7. Those days are long gone. People had a sense of Carnival is here. It started to be called the Calypsos out there. There was an appeal made on Saturday. I attended a meeting with the Calypsonians on the Carnival Committee. The appeal went out to the Calypsonians, can you launch your songs as soon as possible? So with all the other activities planned around Carnival, until you hear those songs on the radio, it's like when you hear in Christmas carols, Christmas coming.
Yes.
So when you hear the new Calypsons up there, where there's something happening. Because that sets the tone. So in terms of one or two persons may have released the songs on radio. I may come back here on the 15th.
15, okay.
God's willing, to launch some of the new material right here on Sugar City Rock.
Your new material?
Not only mine,
But
from other
Calypsonians who will be in
yeah.
your tent? That's good. What is the strength of your tent right now?
22 at the moment.
22?
I'm hearing there were about 60 registered Calypsonians. I've got 22, and I'm okay with that.
22.
One of my Calypsonian, I should say one of the tent Calypsonia will not be here for the launch. She's overseas on a program, Sensation.
Okay.
She's overseas on a culinary thing, but she'll be back in time. Jay, Mighty Jay also will be performing for the first time in the U.S. He has a show in Miami on the 6th.
Okay.
We open on the 5th, so it clashes. So I may start with 2 down, but at least we will have a good complement of
20 is
California.
a good amount.
It's a good amount, yes.
What are some of the challenges you're facing with respect to getting the Calypsonians together and ready?
Haha. You remember some years ago, I would have offered you a document. It was a constitution we had prepared to form a Calypso Association.
Yes.
And I actually gave up and said, if you guys want to go ahead, because if I'm the problem, here is it. Every year, just prior to the carnival season, we have issues. We complain about the judges and this and that, but you could form an association to address these issues. They have not. We are just about the only territory within the region, I won't call Anguilla, that don't have a Calypso Association.
And that is rather unfortunate,
I know.
because almost every carnival season there are issues to be discussed. And if you do not discuss those issues, it creates some animosity going forward amongst the Calypsonians. And the worst thing you would ever want is this unity, this harmonization amongst the people who bring in these social commentaries.
I think that serves a certain purpose. That serves a certain... We seem to be polarized with everything.
Yes.
Down the middle politically. I've been labeled a Pam Calypsonian. Legends tents were boycotted because it was said, well, Lindsey Grant's tent. Nothing could be further from the truth. So with my branding as a Pam Calypsonian, people shied away from Legends. They didn't want to be associated with Legends. And so that has been the thing. And it don't really bother me anymore because, as I said, 22 years, 3 years we've been out here. As a matter of fact, when we launched the tent that night, somebody called in and gave me a year. They said we wouldn't last more than 1 year. It's been 23 years. So all the challenges that's been there, I've been steadfast, and I must be thankful and grateful to the sponsors who has been with us over the years. It's a challenge now. That's one of the main challenges of late, finding sponsors, because going back to COVID, some of the entities were encouraged to give their fundings directly to the Carnival Committee because they were covering everything. Whereas individually, the tents needed that. It's been a challenge now to reverse that, where we get that funding directly to us. They go straight to the Carnival Committee.
But when they say the Carnival Committee covering everything, what do
During
they mean
COVID,
by that?
During COVID, they sponsored all the shows, everything.
Oh, during COVID, okay.
Yeah, but we're now post-COVID, and we have that challenge. It's like you have a girlfriend and you play a slack with her and she move on, she ain't coming back.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
understand? So they give me a horn.
Ah, boy. What do you intend to do? Have you made a special appeal to business places to see if you can garner some sponsorship? How is it going? I think I heard you on a different radio station
Yes.
indicating that you're going to go down by Warren Batch.
Yes. I've been there a few times, but I haven't met the gentleman as
You
yet.
have not met him as
I
yet.
haven't met him. Because if you can sponsor a tent right there in front of us, what I want to do on the 15th is take some of those songs I mentioned, because there are lots of humorous content in the tents. And people will like to come out and, be entertained likewise. But then that shouldn't be one of the first tents. We want to go to the venues where we have a paying audience, because the Calypsonians themselves have to be respected. So whereas the sponsorship that I will get covers the band, the management of it, because I don't have equipment. I have to rent equipment annually.
Okay.
Last year, there was a major overhead in terms of we normally get tents from one of our sponsors, the breweries. But they were doing some things last year, so they couldn't. So I had to go and rent tents, rent chairs, and all that. So there's a cost to all that. At one venue, we even had to rent porta potties to make sure that the public, when they come there, they're properly seated, they have all the facilities. There's a cost to all that.
But amazingly, sponsors like to see entities doing something, and they come in and say, okay, we can fit in here, we can fit in there. Like when I managed Newtown football, we had great sponsorship because we used to do a lot of things, raise funds, do this, do that. Is the band itself, do you have a balance sheet to say, look, this is our effort, and this is where we are right now? This could hardly take us quarter the way through the carnival season. Do you try to produce final accounts so you can use it in your argument or your presentation to say we are just not sitting idly by, but we are trying our best and we just can't make it?
In the past, I would have done that. Actually, it wasn't intended for me to be the manager of the tent. I identified a person who would be the manager of the tent and someone to be the band leader. But sometimes it all fell back on me. So I've been doing that. I'm not an accountant, but I know what it costs to run the tent successfully, 60 grand.
For a carnival season.
For a season. We're looking at about maybe 20, 25 Californians, renting equipment, radio ads, transportation. We have now a contingent from Nevis. I'm covering the costs back and forth. It all factors in. So at the end of the day, I have to be respectful in what I pay the band members. The format is the gate receipts go to the Calypsonians. And in all fairness, the gate receipts don't really reflect any good returns. So I have to subsidize as best I can. Because as much as we have the tents up there, people want to come to see a tent. As a matter of fact, we had a tent, it was a free tent. And somebody was there complaining, oh, you didn't start yet, see, almost 9 o'clock. But I'm saying, you never came to a paying tent. You have never showed up to a tent to support the tent. When it was free, you had to criticize, oh, you didn't start yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, it came from that individual, and that might be considered an outlier. But I have known persons who would have gone to tents, and the tents them started off so late.
Not legends.
So late that people just pack up and gone. But you have to understand, if you have a sponsor, the sponsor might be up listening for the start of that tent, or they might even come and witness what's going on. And when they witness that, look, this tent was supposed to start since 8 o'clock. It's now after 10 and the tent didn't start yet. I think that people got to be very respectful of the sponsorship that they are getting. This late thing got to done with it.
You're so right. And that was one of the terms put to me when let me be fair and say, I don't want to give any ambush plug-in. Caribou Breweries
Yes.
said to me, we've done with sponsoring tents. Because who we sponsor start late in the season and late at nights. I had to give them a guarantee I will start on time. It's been 23 years and they have been with me. The times when my sound man, because he has another job, the engineer, he comes a bit late, etc. But within a half an hour, we're up and ready to go. We don't have the mindset, well, we could start late. Sometimes when we start early, people come and there will be certain Calypsonians. We have to,
Well, how do you strike the balance? A very delicate equilibrium.
Depends on
to
the
establish.
Calypsonian. If you want to give them exposure.
You'll put the order. Somebody
Yes.
might come early and they miss that, okay, come late and miss the performance of 2 or 3 Calypsonians. You can have them recall.
We do that. As a matter of fact, last year, what I did, pardon, the potato chips.
Okay.
I opened the tent
Yeah.
because they're, being the first performer. Because there are some Calypsonians who don't want to be first on stage. And you don't want to establish the practice that night after night you have the same lineup. Right?
Shuffle.
Some people come late because they're big. They come deliberately
And
late.
they don't want to go on too
Right.
early.
So I led from the front. I said, okay, I'm going to start the tent. So I was the first performer on stage. I came back later on because I was doing 2 editions. So I don't make people feel, well, every night you put me up first and I don't like it. And you don't make people feel that they're the lesser.
Yeah, I understand. And
So
you're
you have
correct.
to-
That was a good move.
What Sandro used to do, and we would advise them, when you come to the tent, don't hide in the back. Let the MC know that you're here. Because she's looking at the order. She's adjusting accordingly. Some people want to come late and hide it.
Because they don't want to go on too early.
And one night, we had a tent at Bob's there in Frigate Bay. I'd gone home to get a rest. I told the people, when X, let me know. So I'm blazing back, heading back to the tent. And there's this Calypsonian taking his own time driving over because he wanted to be the
Don't
showstopper.
want to go on too early.
And I went on a performance and tell him, shut it down. He was vexed. You don't do that. He wanted to sing last. Right? Cool. But you can't have the MC just changing her lineup because you is a big shot. So that night I didn't know him from singing. I got me a little bad, right?
but the actuality is that as a band leader, you have to be mindful that the last impression stays. The first one counts, the last one stays. So you want to end your tent
on a high note.
Not an anticlimax.
Right, you need to end it on a high note.
I think that year Contender was kicking, right?
Yes.
And this person want to come on after Contender. You don't do that.
You got to end that last taste left in the mouth
Correct,
of the
correct,
people.
correct.
It's important. Take some kind of management too, and to shuffle the pack. Shuffle. Now, the Calypsonians, them throughout the years, they have been suffering from sufficient practice.
Insufficient.
Well, they're suffering from sufficient. They don't get sufficient practice, so they're suffering from lack of sufficient practice. Insufficient.
Okay.
And how do we correct that? Because I'm almost certain that I would like to suggest to the Carnival Committee that we do a one-song competition, 16 Calypsonians. So instead of have 8 Calypsonians, 7 and the king, and having...
Make it stop.
Yeah.
So, do we have to? I'll be back. Go ahead.
Yeah. We have 16 Calypsonians instead of 8 Calypsonians and each one sing 2 songs. Because what we find happening is that we do not get each Calypsonian getting the 2 songs practice sufficiently well. And as a result of that, when you go to witness semifinals, sometimes it's just a song and a half you're hearing. Sometimes this lingers over to the finals, where you hear somebody have a well-arranged song, but then that second song is nowhere near. You could see that sufficient time did not go into the either practice or the arrangement of that song. You would have had Calypsonians who would have said that they didn't expect to make the semi-final. I really don't understand what somebody means by that. Because if you're singing to reach the furthest you can actually reach. But some people just did not do a second song because they didn't expect to reach the semi-finals. And that is where some persons will be caught, as I said, with their pants down. So we have to be on the ball. I really want Sako to let us take a break and give him a chance to come back.
Fellow citizens, near and far, join Newrish Nital on Sugar City 90.3 for Fear No Favor.
Where is the cancer man? No runner come out for war.
Tune in to 90.3 on your FM dial. Log on to SugarCityFMSaintKitts.com or download Simple Radio app from the Google Play Store. And join Newrish Nital every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. as Newrish Nital tackles the issues and take your calls. Fear No Favor every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on Sugar City 90.3 FM.
Welcome back to Fear in Our Favor. Now, Sakura, what is the duty, what is the responsibility of the band to a Calypsonian? Does the Calypsonian have to get his song scored and everything? Or I really don't know. Once ago, it used to be like that. But after Ip and Numpy and those guys started doing what they have to do, people come to the band and the band think that they should come prepared to that extent. And I think it is unfair because sometimes the Carnival Committee gives huge sums of monies to bands for them to do everything. But yet you cannot find the band members
When is that?
arranging.
When does the Carnival Committee give huge sums of money to a band to arrange everything?
Well, substantial.
For that
So what
purpose?
was when they hire you? Okay, let us suppose you are a band, they are a major band. When they hire somebody,
When they put the All-Star Band in place, they would have selected the finalists or from the semi-final stage. That's when they play. By that time, everybody would have their scores. But Legends Band was created for Calypsonians, not a band who, during the season, support the Calypsonians. Legends Band was created for Calypsonian. The Calypsonian's duty was to show up with his scores.
That's the way it's supposed to go?
That's how it was. Guys got the scores. I recall the times you go to the band house and band leaders would be there scoring your music for you.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Knight was one a person who you could go to get your sheet scored. Ian Hodge, person like that, were known to assist Calypsonians. You pay for it. But when you go to a band leader who does that and he's not paying you for it, he don't feel really obligated. So Isaac now charges X amount for scoring a song.
That's it.
But
yes.
it means, yes, you show up at the band house with your scores. And because he's a band member, he helps to direct the band or conduct the band during the rehearsal phase. With Legends now, last year I undertook the duty of preparing the scores.
Okay.
I had to learn on the job because Mr. Williams would have exited. He went to the US.
Migrated, yes.
So we had that void. So I had to go and learn on the job because most of the songs I arrange. So from there, I had to get technical and use the software to print the scores. Though there were some mishaps, of course, I'm learning on the job. But I had to get it done. And so the lead trumpeter in Angola, Nigerian.
Yes, I know him.
And they went and they fixed it and we sound wonderful. We have a sax player who don't read music at all.
No.
And if you Simon says, blessing, that guy is so naturally talented. 3 horns, 1 trumpet, 1 tenor, 1 alto sax. And those guys just gobbled up the music and made us proud. So all the Calypsonians he came, except for personal, Jove.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up, but I play so. And I play, and he frustrated the band by the end of it because he don't show up in any scores. As a matter of fact, during the meeting last week, he said he have his song ready to release, but I'm wondering if you have a song up there, where the scores? He may end up coming to the band house and say, play this, play that, play that. But we tolerate it because he's a band member, but normally you're supposed to show up with the scores. I have some scores sent to me from Nevis. Some of the Calypsonians who took part in Culture have their music already ready. So they send me the scores. I'll print it now. And when we meet on Saturday or the 15th, we share that with the band members.
But a problem that some Calypsonians and the band members would be encountering is that some music, they are produced by the computer. And the computer seems as if it spits out everything. So when you take a computer print out to the band house, sometimes it creates problem for the band players them. And
There's better formatting today.
better formatting.
There's better formatting. The software now has adapted to where instead of 4/4 they give a cut timing because Calypso is written in cut timing.
Yes.
So you put in the time signature in it and it's done.
But something they spit out a little bit too much, but you still take a score now. If I one of them guys,
Uh-huh.
I think Conway's used to spit out the music from his computer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you reach by the band house now, it created
Challenges.
a little problem. So you had to have people scoring it now
Mm-hmm.
onto the sheet that the bandman, because everything coming out the computer.
What happens in that instance? I want to believe that all the sheets, like the strings, came out in the same key.
Yes.
There's a format that says trumpet must be in this key, sax in that key, trombone, blah, blah, blah. So once you put that format in place, you don't have to go and fix them again. So if you're going to print what's there without using the formula, you end up with problems.
I find that Calypsonians are at a disadvantage compared to Queen Show. You have a Queen Show.
Let me
you
hear
say,
you.
well, only 6 contestants. You give each one of them about $15,000. Them and the chaperone to do whatever they have to do. We have Calypsonians who cannot even afford to go by IP to pay the 3 something, 4 something for him to arrange.
Ain't so much money. So much.
Yeah, but I'm
Or
just,
to arrange.
to arrange.
I thought you meant
and
just
then-
printing.
Yeah, no, not that print.
Okay.
Arrange and everything.
You're right.
And I'm saying that the time has come for us to put a little catalyst for the Calypsonian that they could get off the mark. Even major Calypsonian used to have problem because they did not have money to pay. We know
Dr.
that.
Ken Ballantyne, about 20 years ago. You recall when the racetrack opened down there?
Yeah.
In
so-
that year,
Mhm.
he was the Calypso sub-chair, and he was appalled. He did not realize that we do not get mobilization fees like the Queens. You mentioned that. I raised the same point in the meeting on Saturday. They get chaperone, they get funding, they get everything. We do not get. And so Dr. Ballantyne decided to give us $1,500 each. He says in the other countries they get that. He didn't realize we didn't get that at all. You have a guy living Parsons. He have to come up to practice. That's bus fee back and forth, back and forth. And at the end of the day, nothing. And they tell you without Calypso in the carnival. Right? We go back to the days when Calypsonians sang for a handshake or bottle of rum, but the Queens got this and that nonsense. In 1988, when Rosie Hodge won the Queen pageant, I was at home working. And it says, a Hodge won tonight, a Hodge going to win tomorrow night. And her prize was a brand new car, along with mattresses and different things. I won the following night, a brand new car. Today, well, they raised it last year to 20 grand. It used to be 15,000 for a lot of years.
No COVID was around that, yeah. I heard that argument you put down, and you did indicate that if the price was so high so many years ago, how come it's not getting better? And I agree with you. So maybe they should do what they could handle. Do what you can handle. Start planning for that. A matter of fact, when they pick up money, because the government itself would contribute something.
Government
to
subvention
Yeah.
should be bigger. Culture is big. It's not just a carnival or a Christmas show. Culture, the young people, that projection of talent out there is so very important. They had an independence show in the park some nights ago. Who was the main attraction? Independence, 40. Where you from?
Jamaica.
The big bucks, gone out. And somebody made a point, Crucial Bank usually been headlining that show. So the focus the wrong thing, channel the energy the wrong places, and then you wonder how come the local talent don't survive.
Yeah, you're right. Just like this show music festival, I don't care whether it's a music festival different to carnival, but the kind of money they pay those persons, you could have taken or tell the individual, look, a percentage of this would have to be put aside to assist in our cultural expression. And that could have been in the form of Calypso.
Yep.
You understand? When you're paying out these monies, you have to let them know, look, a percentage of this contractual arrangement would have to go to promoting the Calypso. Look at the youngsters then. We had
You're right.
about 7 or 8 youngsters, and 7 of them from Nevis. Only one we had from St. Kitts with the youth Calypso.
That's, I won't say mainly because, but the Norwegian Junior Calypsonians are prepared since Culturama. We on St. Kitts start to prepare Calypsonians, juniors around October. When is exams?
Exam May, June.
No. They have to pay for some exams around October. About.
Yes, yeah, because registration open right now.
So
for
then the
January.
parents are concerned about this, the children focusing on the exams. You don't start in October to get them to come and sing Calypso because the parents don't even know what's a presentation, but they're proud to put a little thing on stage and they look inadequate.
But
So
we
there
had
has to be a program.
Technically, we had a whole year. From December to December is a whole year.
Of course.
We had a whole year. And we're not pushing out the effort to see if we could pull in the youngsters and them. And sometimes the decisions
I've offered.
at the senior Calypso competition, they discourage people from sending in their children to get knocked out.
I had that very, very discussion this morning with a lady from Nevis, how the discouragement her son faces. Right? And I said, he's with legends, we're going to work with him, blah, 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 blah. But the discouragement, not to him, but reflects on others. And we need that continuity. But you have to, I was saying, have an inter-school Calypso competition throughout the year. It's a sense of pride to know where you're wearing your school, you have your school
It
trophy.
used to happen.
So what's going on?
Bassi High School, not sure. This, not sure. They just pick somebody. How you know you're picking the right person?
And then last year, they had a whole week of activity in the circus. Not one Calypsonian, not one Calypso tent. But you can tell me, well, there's no carnival without Calypso, and this and that and that. So the tents are suffering. I used to have up to maybe 10 to 15 tents when we first started. Do 2 tents a week, sometimes 3 tents a week. Go in the rural areas and, And I used to have a thing with Wingo where we wouldn't clash. If he's on Thursday night, I won't clash with the Wingo and people will come out. Now, they're the most popular tent, of course. They attract the people like, what's the name there? Unexpected. Who tells me that he's going to move July from the calendar.
Why?
He said July. I mean, this man is a genius.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
He's going to move.
So that is song for this year?
I don't know. It's what he telling me. But, and people will come out, but the demographic that supports the Calypso tents is just the same people. You go to Proud Sound tent, the same faces. You go to Legend, the same faces. The younger people, we've not captured their attention. The other genres that they gravitate to.
But
when you have junior Calypsonian school doing the thing,
yes,
you encourage that, but it's not there.
So what can we do to get the youngsters them gravitating towards the Calypso?
Number one, make the prize lucrative and attractive. Have an inter-school competition. Let them have a trophy that each school competes for. It will be a sense of pride in the Welcare High School, beat Sandy Bay High School, and have the trophy. And that goes into Carnival.
Maybe what they can do is the highest placed junior Calypsonian, or even in the senior, the highest placed youngest Calypsonian gets a scholarship.
We got a contract.
Yeah.
Have that on radio playing. His peers will hear it, want to take part. I want to be that person. But the radio stations now must be part of the conversation. As I mentioned today, I'm hearing the radio station playing ballads from North America, not one Calypso.
I worked with a guy from Newrish, the young fellow, when he was 15, he bang up this and that and everybody over there.
What's his name?
Inspire. And TDC gave him a scholarship. But he would have been to university and everything, but he would have changed around a lot now. And I would have liked to see him on stage still. I'm saying that even a scholarship, we know that they're not paying to go to the CFBC anymore. But a scholarship could get the right type of persons out there pushing.
The consciousness, where does it come from?
You want to hear Calypso with climate change in it. Yeah? You want to hear Calypso as to how to maintain the peace in a sustainable way. How can we get people transformed? And I think that the Carnival Committee should come up with a particular theme on which each Calypsonian would have to compose a Calypso. And then the second round, they do whatever they want to do. You can't,
for the national level or for the junior?
National. If we don't get themes, how would we get songs to promote what we are trying to push? You see? Because sometimes...
You got a point.
Sometimes if you sing a particular type of Calypso, but some people ain't got an interest in that. Like David Water would come and nobody dancing, but they're absorbing. His name is Chartdust. Chartdust would come, and Chartdust would be absorbing.
Listening.
Sending the message. Pick up some local news. Push a little piece in there. I think that we have to give the Calypsonians them. I would do it this way. Those who made it to the semifinals, you have to sing a song on a topic that we give you.
That would take a little more time for planning because you have like 2 weeks between the semis and the finals.
Make it early. So okay,
if it's known before as a policy, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, policy, put it in place.
All right, okay. I can see that happening. For the folks who are listening, they may want to take notes.
Somebody calling.
Right.
Good evening. Welcome to Fear in Our Favor.
Hello, good night. Nital.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, this is Rankin.
Rankin, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I'm following the show, man. Good show. Socrates, pick up yourself. Good night, my bad.
With much respect.
Aye. Now, I heard you said something a while ago about the radio station and playing calypso music and so forth, right? Now, as you know, I am one of the DJs right there with Sugar City,
I
and
didn't know that, but I'm not informed.
okay, and one of the things is that the problem that hiders have is sometimes have to be running down people for music, you know, and not only just running them down, but to also get like quality stuff, good stuff. That is something that we need to look into as well. You know,
It's a catch 22.
but pardon me, I didn't get that.
It's a catch 22 situation because you can't get quality music unless the calypsonian can afford it.
Hmm.
If he has a 9 to 5 job, there's not studio costs that will give him that qualitative music he cannot afford. So you get
Okay.
something knock up in a side studio or from the tent, which is not radio ready, right?
Yeah.
And what feeds into that, he don't get enough airplay to boost his popularity.
Hmm.
You may want to play it. Another presenter on the same station may not want to play that song. So only when Mental is on, they'll hear it. Right? So I did give an undertaking earlier that I want to bring on the 15th some new material from the Legends tent because I'm recording some of the artists. I'll be able to bring the material here for that exposure.
Right.
I've always maintained that you need to get the DJs as part of this carnival venture. Back when we had one radio station, the DJs understood that. And people in Miami, New York, and USVI was able to feed into the new calypsos here in St. Kitts. Now we have all the different genres being played up there, and maybe one or two talking calypso. That's not right.
Right. Well, okay, I understand everything you're saying. Because I had Soursop. I saw what's up last week Thursday on my program, and he was expressing some of the same things that you're expressing.
Okay.
Also, he expressed because he went deep into the fact that it seems like Calypsonians presently, in St. Kitts is getting a real fight down. A lot of them even afraid to come out and speak out on the injustice that is taking place towards Calypsonians. So I asked him, I said, I'd love to have some of those same Calypsonians come on my show. I'm happy that you were there with Nital, so you can hear for yourself. And I hope other persons could call in as well, listen in the show, and express the same concern. Now, secondly, another thing, because I'm not going to take up a lot of you guys' time. I think, we need to see at least one or two calypso acts at music festival, even independent shows and stuff like that.
You miss it, man. You miss it. It took them 10 years to give me 15 minutes of music festivals. You miss me. It took them 10 years.
10 years ago, you said?
It took them in the 10th anniversary whatever, or the 10th edition, they gave me 50 minutes. And why? They gave Connors 50 minutes. This and that 50 minutes. Mako 15 and myself. And I can say this bill because they wanted to feature Congress. And they were looking back to see that he just came on the scene and being featured and not people like myself.
Right.
So they gave us an hour to share, 15 for Congress, and that was in that pop, 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 pop. So you missed that.
Like one song per person.
2 songs, 50 minutes.
If possible, because
Yeah.
some Calypsonians to perform one song, because a song will be like sometimes 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
You
Loud Black is 15.
Right. But that was so long ago.
Correct.
But I'm talking about now. I mean, look, we just had a 40 years independence and not a Calypsonian.
That is correct.
40 years. We had a free concert in Nevis and in St. Kitts. No Calypsonian.
I heard a song last year called Double Slice, very patriotic. I thought it would have been featured for our thing. Nope. They weren't called Our Flag. I entered the independent song competition. I understand that I went over by a few seconds. It had to be 3 minutes, 3.5. How can you get a calypso? Yes, so fine. But the patriotic songs that we have that we could play, we get 2 Viva St. Kitts and the one from Miko. That's it. The others out there
But this is the thing, and this is why the other Calypsonians
are discouraged.
are discouraged and also need to hold one head and protest against this.
All one head mean forming an association.
Forming an association, whatever it is.
Let Nital tell you. Tell him.
Yeah, but if guys are not coming forward, many efforts were made to get an association formed. You didn't have a constitution. They didn't even have to reinvent the wheel. You retrofit something that existed somewhere and put it to your own conducive atmosphere, the likeness of your countries.
We did that.
Yes.
I had a lawyer working with me, McClure Taylor, but I paid the courthouse for the first year registration, which was $100 US, the second year. And they would not come to the meeting. I gave up. So it's not for lack of trying. I invested in a little recording studio. I call it a Matchbox. And as a result, I'm able to assist many Calypsonians and myself. I spend about 18 hours a day there. That's my little man cave. Not everybody can do that. Because I used to go to Trinidad. It used to cost me, how much grand? I think it was 20 grand EC to go and record in Trinidad every year. When I come back, I'm on 4th Street competing with the pirates. So I couldn't do that. Couldn't continue. So I invested because my mantra is my music is my life, is my music. I live it. Last year, a guy came by me, knock on my door. I said, what are you doing here? You can't come here with an appointment. I said, well, Miss Perry, tell you, bring something for you, The man brought me a Guinness, some other drink, and $20. That's what it costs $500 to record you. But he can't afford it. Last time again, the next Calypsonian, he asked me how much. I said, listen, you work with the tent, here's what. Because I have to work with them because you can't. It's the same catch-22. They can't afford to go and do a qualitative recording for you to play because they don't have the work. They don't have the work for that. There's a problem.
But what about the recordings from the tents as well? And that's another thing too. The lack of tents.
Last year, I engaged an entity to come and record the tents. My thing was to record it and 24 hours after live stream it. Well, not live, stream it because I promised my sponsor that I would get wider coverage. It never happened. I'm not that technical, and there was this excuse, that excuse. But the attempt was made to send it out to our people out there in the diaspora and giving my sponsors additional mileage, so to speak. So we tried all that. What happens sometimes, when certain people come and record the tent, before you, the tent organizer, gets a copy, it's sold here and there and there and there.
Wow.
So, there's a bit of piracy. People buy it, and you don't even see a copy of it. And that discourages you. But you want to get the Calypsonians exposed. So you don't want to say, well, don't do it. You understand? So you're actually making a contribution way above what is asked of you to a carnival, and many people don't appreciate it. So by the 15th, I'm going to have some songs. I'm going to take over the various radio stations. Last year, I did the same. I didn't come here, to be honest. Went to a certain station about 3-4 days after for a different purpose. I asked about the songs then. Nobody knew they were there. Nobody knew they were there.
Ranking, do we have songs for Sakura here?
Yeah, I have a few songs for Sakura.
Imagine that. I feel important. I'm going to update you. I have quite a library. I'm going to put them on a pen drive. I just send them to you so we can have no excuse.
That's
I
right.
would appreciate it.
You have fat pork?
And I hope, yes, I do have that.
Okay. This year, look out for CAT scan.
Yes.
Look out for CAT scan.
All right. And I hope some other Calypsonians listen to the program and, they're welcome to send this stuff as well.
All right. I'm going to come in for an interview if you're here, Natal, and we can do live chit chat on the new material.
Okay, no problem. All right, fellas.
Okay, thanks so much for your input, Rankin.
Much appreciated.
No problem.
Yes. Let us look. Hello? Yeah. Let us look at the Calypso competition.
Which one?
The finals, the semi-finals.
Okay.
I think that at the semi-finals, a lot of persons do only have a song and a half. I'm talking about lyrical content and arrangement. And then we try our best for the finals, and then it seems as if there's not sufficient time between there to go through the song with a fine-tooth comb. Some persons get much more practice than others, to be honest. And I don't know if because the songs are not arranged early enough. And I believe from the 10th time, we should have Calypsonian with 2 songs. If you're going to go down this 2-song road all the time, I feel they should done with it and have one best shot, 16 Calypsonians. 16 Calypsonians.
I like a left and a right.
You like a left and a
Put
right?
on my gloves, left hand, right hand, let's go.
You see, but some people feel that the second song is an extension of the first song.
Some
And
people.
they're not putting sufficient into it. They feel like they had such a good first round that points from the first round could go over into the second
That
round
happens.
to help them.
That's
And that's a misconception. Don't care how great your first song be or one your songs is. You have to create 2 solid songs.
A lot of folks on stage today depend on others to provide the material.
And some of them lagging behind with their payments. You understand?
Okay.
You give them the best shot and they're not coming around with the payments, the little thing that you're charging them for your writing skills. And by the way, they're supposed to have somebody coming here to, I think, to do a writing workshop.
Really?
Yeah, the guy he was a Grammy something. Who he is?
Well, I'm supposed we're going to Antigua to conduct a writing workshop.
But they have somebody coming here, I think it's this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to do a workshop.
Well, I'm supposed we're
But
going to
the person
Antigua
that-
to the one.
You see,
You understand what I'm saying?
You don't utilize our people.
I went to Antigua about 3 months ago to conduct a calypso judging workshop prior.
I heard the review. I heard the lady on Win FM with
Yep.
you, and you got great reviews. Yes, congratulations on that.
Appreciate
And
that.
we
So the
can
question is, why do we need those? We know what we're doing here.
We know. Listen, when I went to the second workshop with the chief judge out of Trinidad, I think he from Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said, "Nita, what you come up here to do? To help me? You locals
Right.
them can't see it. You
It's an
understand?
insult to our local intelligence.
They can't see it.
You know how many people pension has produced over the years and still is? He wants to work with the junior Calypsonian. He did that. I've done that. Most of those, as a matter of fact, one year, there was a big talk, what the men them? The women beating all the men them, this and that. And I only say on radio, but we write the songs them. Oh, I ain't want to, but we are the one who writing songs them. Well, the men them, the women beating off all the men them, and I'm thinking, is me in pension? And the other fellow.
Yeah, I know.
We produce those leads, that platform for them. Now, kudos to Singing Jackie. Say what you want. I have so much respect for her. Over 40 years. Make sure you come on the stage. You have to respect her contribution and dedication to the art form. Say with me. They want me to retire.
Yeah, I heard that nonsense, but
I must leave the stage for the younger people. Then.
you know how happy I am to know that your voice would have come full circles. Remember at one time your voice was giving you so much trouble.
It was the potato chips.
You remember you just,
Yes,
couldn't get it come around. And I
Yeah.
said, Lord, we can't see Sacco go out like that just because of voice.
Yeah.
And you would have come full circle.
And some people say normally in December you always have problems. I don't know if it's atmospherics, you know. But
No,
as a tour
that
guide,
particular time you were really down with that voice. I wonder if you missed You missed out the competition.
Yeah, I did.
The voice wasn't there.
A couple of years ago, actually, the same thing happened to me. I bought all kind of thing for my throat, etc. It didn't work out and so on. But some people are happy.
Yeah.
Happy with that, you know what I mean? They take that.
No. Sako, the judging aspect.
Yes.
I feel that they use some judges to help them through the eliminations, go up semifinals, and then they surgically select the judges for the finals. And I am fed up of that.
That used to happen.
Fed up of that.
My response to that at one point is you have your slate of judges, but in order to determine who's going to judge tonight, you had to go on stage
and
pull a number from the bag and then determine whether or not you judge or not.
They're still fooling you with that. One time they picked 7 or 8 judges, put in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Not a damn thing left inside of the bag. Right. So you think that you're pulling out a 10 or 12, just the people who they wanted to judge inside the bag. So you can't trust them.
So they catch
trust issue. Yeah, it's surgical.
Okay.
Surgical selection. You know something? I judge a few finals, and something you talk to your fellow judge, and he said, "But how they get that, boy? Man had that." I said, "You had that there, Philip. You had that there, John." And basically, when we're done, we can see the order,
the result that they presented. Okay.
And that is disturbing, because they forget that some judges are very close friends, and they will come, okay, I had this 1, 2, 3. You had 1, 2, and you look for the overlap. And you can't see the overlap. You're seeing somebody who wasn't, 1, 2, 3. And that is a problem for me.
Is there a formula that you see can eradicate that challenge? Because in Antigua, they try the high and low and the ranking system, all the different things. That I don't like that,
I don't.
I have judged competition, and if the young lady, if she comes on and she deserves 90, I should give her that.
Not being mindful that.
But then,
to try it out, so
if you give it 8, then
you see.
But there's a way of beating the system.
But you have judges who collude.
You and I, we collude.
You give the person 90, the only one they could shout.
There you go.
You understand? And it is becoming a bit too obvious sometimes what's going on. And I do not trust the auditors. I don't care what anybody would have to say. I do not trust them. And my thing is that if you have your auditors, if I'm the chief judge, you give me the same sheet them. Give me a copy of the sheet that you gave. Give me the scores them that you gave the auditors. Mm-hmm. Because they could come and say, well, these are the positions, but the chief judge could go and we add up and we get something different. I don't believe that.
Happened a couple of years ago with it was Gloria.
They can be forced unto themselves. I do not believe in the auditors them being a force unto themselves. They're not accountable to anybody. Give the auditors the score, give the chief judge the score.
Okay, and there's a comparison?
Yes, because you must know. They can't run and hide. Sako, I have judged sufficiently, right? One time we judge, and you have your friends who would want to know how the order go before they announce it. And you might whisper something because you live in the park now. All at what? 3 o'clock my phone ringing, 4 o'clock my phone ringing.
How come you say this and that happened?
And how come you tell us this and is that?
Uh-huh.
So I go across when my partner across here by College Street. I said, could I get a look at the score sheets them? Mm-hmm. He can't find them.
Same night?
The very next day. Well, the morning, because it's so big, ended in the morning. That can't be right. We got to done with this. Leave it and let people compete. You could go good song, but you might not put it down well.
On the night.
On the night. You got to judge people on the night of the show. I have written songs for people and adjudicated in the village festivals. And one time I had Lady Shorty way down. Everybody else had her way up. I put her way down because I write this song and I know how she's supposed to deliver. Mm-hmm. And she did not execute. Mm-hmm. If you are a good judge, you could be objective. You could judge your own material against other people. It might not be morally right, but we have judges who can do that. But then you picking judges.
I recuse myself from that.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't find nobody else to judge.
For you, you do your thing.
Yeah, something you can't find anybody. I'm not talking about the major competition.
I
I'm
understand
talking about
the community.
Village Arama
Uh-huh.
and they're bringing back that. They're bringing back
That'd be a
that.
good thing.
A lot of festivals, we need to bring them back.
The support.
I believe we need to have a writing school. It was my intention to have a writing school.
By the way, I don't know if you heard, they have a category for the best songwriter for the competition. They're paying $2,500. So
Which one? Which
for this competition, Calypso.
The carnival.
Yeah. So they're actually recognizing the songwriter. So when you present a song, you have to say who wrote your song.
They did that for Independence. Yeah, who won the thing?
Kamal and somebody else.
Kamal.
Is somebody in the song competition?
Yeah, the Independence Song competition. They had
Kamal, three of them, a trio.
3 person, a trio.
They kicked me out.
You entered?
I entered.
Yeah.
Our flag.
I know Navigator entered.
Yeah, that's all the only two Calypsonians, Navigator and myself.
Well, what type of song they put forward?
I put forward a Calypso.
No, the guys that move.
I have no idea.
So
But it's published. It's published.
It's published?
Yeah.
So
Congratulations.
you could go on the
Should be able to.
internet and listen to it. What genre on site?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but I saw it when I went to the meeting there. That it's on Facebook, wherever it is. It's out that they won the independent song competition, and it's going to be re-engineered now and used as on national level.
You don't believe we can develop a writing school here?
Sure.
You go in Antigua to help, and you got people writing around here for quite a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
You just come and you just write a song and somebody comes and they believe that they can work with this.
The problem with that, there's no budget for that.
Could be a private school.
No, they're going to bring in people and pay them. That's a different thing, There's no budget to respect people who are doing that. One of Better Words yesterday, Ian Hodge.
Mm-hmm.
All those big songs from Cut.
Yeah, he writes for
No, Ian. Only St. Christopher.
He's here right now?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
People like him, he was just humorous and classic with his writing. And those songs are like, we hear only St. Christopher, but that level of writing,
I think what we have a problem with too is the songs with a little wit. People don't see them as some people.
Work of art? Work of art?
Yeah, they don't see them as champion songs. They prefer to hear the serious type of song.
Here's what. When I did Nothing the Ring, in my mind, it was the silliest song I've ever written. And Concert would tell me, sing it. Say, boy, that wasn't written for Warner Park. He said, boy, sing the song, this and that. I actually sang the song and won the competition.
Yeah, it was a good song. The song at the past.
But as you were saying, the mindset, we didn't figure that that's a competition piece. But people want the humor.
In the Fat Pork,
Mm-hmm.
people consider it not too much a competition song. Some people thought that you had a next song to sing. But when I explicated this song, I said that is good material.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
There is a Fat Pork tree.
Yeah, there's a Fat Pork tree. That is the same girl who got knocked about over in Culturama when she sang about Where Do You Stand?
Yes. That will be rendered in the tents down here.
Excellent song. That's
That's
a good question that we got to ask a lot of people in South.
Where do you stand?
Where you stand?
We
with
were
respect
raised
to
one
that?
way in terms of a Christian you're bringing. Where do you stand? How do you endorse this now? How do you stay silent?
I didn't really recognize her, but I called a guy in Nevis and I asked why this girl is not in the finals. They had her as a guest artist. And she had another good song
I
with
know.
it. What the song was, boy?
Give it back. I'm a writer.
Yeah, I don't realize.
Give it back.
Yeah,
Give
I
back
don't
what you
realize
stole
that.
from Africa. Talking about what they're talking about. Just give it back. And, we don't need a charity. Give back what you stole. A lot of folks don't recognize those songs because they're not about local politics.
They're not listening. They're not listening, man.
Right. So she'll be doing the how the church divided and CAT scan.
CAT scan.
CAT scan.
You have anything ready?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. But because of the wait was the chips, the potato chips in my throat right now.
Yeah, but this is going on for a while.
No.
Just drink some water.
But here's what. When I'm working with a Calypsonian,
Yes.
I have to actually record the song and give them to learn it. That's where they learn it quicker. And most of the songs are not in my key, so it strains my vocals. But this is just to get them ready.
So who comes with the melody?
Me?
So they get the melody and then the lyrics. or they
Arrangements,
come with
everything, they come with nothing.
You find it easier to put a melody first and then put lyrics to it, or got lyrics and then you slide in the melody?
Sometimes you move in and you get a hook. And because I'm older now, I don't have the record. I have my little chiching, I record it.
Yeah, because it
And
could go
later
leave
on-
you, you know.
yes, it will.
Go leave you. It could
Later
go
on, I
leave
go
you.
back to it and then I build on that. Or sometimes you're trying to get a concept and it's defeating you. The best way to deal with that is to let it come naturally, because if you're a writer and you force the issue, it's not going to come. You're writing things just to fit in words, but you don't have the luxury of time. So you stay up late at night, which I do, and I try to get the because you want your calypsonian to go on stage and kick them in the shin.
Okay.
You don't want a mediocre song. So it's a pressure on the brain.
I-
And that sometimes I end up coming in last because what? I want to see them go first. But I'm doing one called Heroes of the Caribbean. What conjures in the mind?
Yeah, I understand that. Sometimes our judges, but they don't have appreciation for certain type of songs. A lot of would have happened from a political perspective. Look at the lady from Barbados.
Which
She's
one?
coming up to be the Prime Minister.
Oh.
She's coming up to be
She's in the song,
UN
eh?
Secretary.
She's in the song.
That's what bring up her name.
She's
just
in the
now.
song.
She must be.
Yeah.
She must be. And I could imagine that. I remember when Elimat sang, "Oh Grenada,"
Yep.
and people just couldn't connect. What Grenada? You could imagine judges telling you that. They don't want to hear anything about any Grenada. This is our carnival time.
Yeah. And we have that that perception, well, you sing about international, what about local? You want to sing about Africa, what about locally? And, but you live in a global village. You must be conversed with what's happening around you, And some people get asked, well, we don't want to hear about Africa. We don't want to hear about that. We want to hear about this. And when you hit them, the local politics. As a matter of fact, right now, I have Calypso tell me I sing the politics.
There's so many topical issues.
One telling me that my sister said, I working on stepping on, so I gotta be careful. You waste my time.
Stifling expression.
You
sang about Haiti. You won
At least 3 times.
You won that competition.
A couple years ago.
Done by the CHA down there.
Huh?
Down in Wanapa over the CHA
Yeah.
side.
That was a couple of years ago. I sang what it was? Fear Not. Fear Not.
They won down
And-
by the CHA. You won that competition. Remember the reigning queen? I don't think she had place in that show.
She fainted.
Yeah, no. You
Okay.
won that competition?
Yes.
I
That was
judged-
about my third
I judged
song on
in that.
Haiti.
I judged on that.
Children of Africa was the name of the song. Children of Africa. I appreciate that. So you have an appreciation for, every day on the radio, Haiti, fellow. We should be thankful for the Haitians and what they did.
Because you see they don't know the history.
Saying that.
And it's very difficult to judge and appreciate a song when you don't really...
When I took part in the 50th anniversary of Antigua Carnival, they were looking for Calypsonians, monarchs around the region, 50 and over. Gabi was one. Of course, Antigua fielded 3 Calypsonians, which was a Swallow, one from yesterday, and Short Shirt. You had Pat representing St. Croix. The format was sing on, one song of your choice, and the other on a Caribbean national who is a hero, you think is a hero. Croco sang, it was a good concept. His hero was his father. Gabi sang on Viv Richards, so did Short Shirt. 2 songs on Viv Richards, etc. I sang on Hate and Susanna Vacho. because they made a linkage between emancipation, carnival celebration, and the 1791 revolution that forced all that. If you're going to celebrate emancipation, you have to include the revolution. And
Connect the dots.
and Dr. Ken Ballantyne was a judge on the show. A judge from Guyana, while I was rendering that song, asked Ken Ballantyne, who is To Say Love Show? A judge. Well, I can't say they're from the Caribbean, but Guyana still, right? Don't know who I'm singing about. And so I was a judge second round up. But I was convinced because I won the first round. Because I won the first round hands down. Right? People say, oh, I'm going to sing us tonight. I cool because I know what have coming next. I had a choice of doing Kill on the Road or The Apology. People say, sing Kill on the Road. And second round started. The monarch came out. Short. Lament, oh my. Before he gets a soul, the whole of the A gone up. I said, like, dead tonight. Right? So, okay.
Is he won? He won?
Yes. Lamentations, home turf. I tell you, he was wonderful. He came out, lamento, and the whole place went up. And he won. So when they call out the results, second runner up, King Socrates. I said, well, who beat me? Could it be Gabby? You know, this and that. Gabby was good, but. First runner up, Coco. Somebody he beat me because I didn't rank him. You could not understand his articulation was poor. Very poor. You couldn't understand him. So I actually wrote him off. But the judge from Guyana, no Coco, from Trinidad, he big. And he don't know who is to sound of a show.
Right.
So the point you were making, a lot of the judges are averse with the various personalities, how they fit into our Caribbean culture, and the song that element went about or Grenada. I just say well, this is Singers Carnival.
Yeah, they just didn't
So you have that mindset.
Connect with that.
So they're a nice part of the issue.
We want to discuss a bus.
A bus.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bus out there. It's over 19 years old. It's a Toyota.
We want to discuss that because some people feel like a song belongs to a Calypsonian and he delivers it however he wants. My thing is that you have a first verse, a second verse, a third verse, and you have a fourth, which will be the conclusion. Right? It's like
A storyline.
essay, like a story.
Yep.
Some people, when they're competing, they give you 1, 2, 3, and then go back up by 1. There is no cohesiveness which you leave in 3. And better you leave this song as a 3-verse song. You understand? And they try after, just like how some people like to sing about 4th verse. And the 4th verse has nothing to do
To add.
with the theme. So therefore you're singing 3 calypsos in a 2 calypso competition. And that is a problem that I have. And I said, some people sing choruses that are specific to a verse. You sing about Brian Lara, greatest cricketer, and then you put his scores on there. You sing about Pele, you put his scores on there. You sing about Michael Jordan. You can't say Brian Lara was the greatest 3-point shooter. Not because it's your song. It ain't make any sense. You understand? And I consider that out of order. And if I'm judging you, you're going to lose points. You can't come tell me Brian Lara no 3-pointer. Cannot be. And you can't tell me that Brian Lara record. Because sometimes when you're singing a song, you can't get away from the fact that
Specific.
the song's supposed to be factual, you know.
Specific.
You can't tell me that Brian Lara world record is 275. That is not
That
true.
will work with the judge who's not really au fait with all the...
Right. So I'm telling you, with me, that is why when you choose the
I'll
judges,
have to watch you.
Your judges got to be in tune with
Informed,
what? They got to be
up to
fair
date.
and current, up to date. They got to be informed, fair, and they got to be current, up to date. And that is the problem I have when I go on a judging panel. When I look around and I see,
Your peers.
I don't walk out, but I wonder if the substitute judge ready to just come and let me come go home. No, serious. Can be. You have to know.
So in a workshop that you attend, aren't you on the same page? Don't you discuss?
You could discuss things with people like I understand, you know.
Are they not in Antigua?
Some people got some built-in biases, you know.
I did that in Antigua. I got some green young Calypsonians to judge certain songs with the senior Calypsonians. And at the end of the exercise, the point spread was 1 point apart.
You serious?
Serious. The young Calypsonians, the senior judges.
After you would have imparted.
Yes, we
the
did
knowledge to
one
them.
day, and the next
Okay.
day we had the judging exercise. 2 point spread the widest. I mean, there was understanding cause of what's required, and it helped the Calypsonians in understanding. Senior judges. And by the way, I got in trouble for this. One of the songs I played songs from Trinidad, from St. Kitts, from around the region. And one of the songs I played was Craig's song.
Which one?
Rally?
Cricket.
We can rally again?
Rally?
And I tell them this song was well composed, presentation was awesome. What fault do you have with it? And they listened. They said, too much David Water. Fine. Because, right? Then the next song I played was the winning song.
Was it too much David Wada? Or
No, that's me paraphrasing.
Yeah, I
That's
understand.
me paraphrasing.
Was it too much David Wada? Or the fact that he had in a piece of water and they knew David Wada well?
That's it. Same thing.
That seemed to be where the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
They knew who David Wada is. And they knew that part while they were on the West Indies, the team song for West Indies cricket team.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even if you just had in 100 of it, but they recognize that. To them, that is too much for them. But I don't believe it's so much.
You don't believe so much?
Now you discussed that already.
Okay.
I don't believe it's so
Okay.
much.
But this is the stuff you're taking for exercise, controversial issues. And when I play the song from the current monarch, the most senior judge, he's the director of education, Miss something Brown. His name is that a calypso? First question, is that a calypso? Because I'm playing calypso. You understand? And he's the most senior of the judges. He's the director of education, something Brown.
But that's a question that was around here too.
Yeah. I understand second-hand information when she went to Montserrat. She was told that's not a calypso.
That's a great thing I told you that.
Okay.
The song was delivered.
So when I would have presented the various songs, I did one with Michael Egerton Protector, Trinidad.
Yeah.
He sang without props. And I compared him to one with Sandra with props. And in the one with Sandra, she had a line about no child being left behind. Well, you use it because I was at the stadium the night in Trinidad and watched her. And when she left the stage, there was a child left behind, part of her presentation, but she didn't realize. And I'm saying she messed up. She left a child on stage. And the audience picked it up. Your presentation can complement or be, it could make you lose a competition.
Maybe when she did that too.
It was intended.
It was intended.
It was not intended.
No,
Her song was done. She was leaving, her entourage was leaving.
I seen it this way. I would look at it and give her the benefit of the doubt and say, it's to remind the judges, the theme of my song is that no child should be left.
But you're going into her head.
No,
but-
but I'm saying from a psychological perspective, it can be viewed like that. It's like when they were saying that Sashi were playing shepherd and sheep the same time. I think we just had to listen to it and explicate it a little deeper than that. But I understand what you're saying. She was leaving the stage and the child was left behind.
Yeah, I watched
and then
that.
You force people to say, well, she just said.
No, I didn't force. I told my partner, but look at that.
No, I mean the people.
So I figured she would lose points, but during the workshop. And the side, I didn't tell him, you know.
Yeah, but what
I
I'm
didn't
saying-
tell them, but I
the
played it
message
for.
she's trying to send
Uh-huh.
is that just remember when you start to school, this message was that no child should be left behind. It could be exaggeration
it
for
was
emphasis.
not.
Maybe it was a mistake.
It was a
Maybe
mistake.
she didn't take notice, but I like to dig deep.
So
and
when
see.
you take your props on stage, and why you didn't kick up so much last year?
Trap.
No. Why didn't kick up? Because I was
Yeah.
angry with what happened. It was supposed to be segmented. I rendered 5 verses. And the last verse, that's when the blind lady was to come on stage, the amputee, the stroke victim. I get on stage, and everybody up on stage ahead of me. So if I'm judging, I'm singing the first verse about this, that I'm asking, what are those guys doing on stage? What's the correlation with the verse? Third verse, fourth, they're just there. Culture, Hunks, Sexy Sharon, Blind Sharon, and who else? A couple other person. They're on stage throughout. So when it came to the fifth verse, there was no emphasis. They were supposed to come on then and create that impact.
Appropriate, yeah.
So that is why you say, you know what? I'm going to take my blows tonight. Because the people who managed the props did not do it in the segmented, sequential manner.
Yeah, but you
so you can take on props. But we don't rehearse it.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the judge's mind,
Uh-huh.
some of them don't think so deep.
Yeah, but
For they don't see and they don't see, and maybe the judge they don't give instructions as to what to do.
what do you say again? As long as labor in power, okay, I'm going to call. That's okay.
But you would have got no come with labor in power.
Yeah, but they're saying that, and I could
say,
call name
you
this
mean
as
right now?
no, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And there was some diehards. Well, they're not my supporters. Say, boy, being like him is, but Lord, they rob him. You know, it's obvious. And there are people out there who saw the show and congratulated me. So you take your blows. Sometimes you want to kick him in the shin, you can't, but you take your blows. But the disrespect, well, he need to retire and dumb it because
yeah, they shouldn't say
it ain't going to happen. They can say what they want.
They shouldn't really say that.
They can say what they
I
want.
totally disagree with that.
Anyway, my name is not Buster Manti, but I've watched a few times.
Yeah, but that is why I say, well, how much do you take off?
Good question.
How much do you take off? When you consider something a bus, how much do you take off? Because if somebody was supposed to say pigeon and they say pig, if you follow in the song construction clearly, you know, by pig for the is pigeon, or they mix up a verse, you know, some verses are specific to certain choruses. You mix up that. People are saying that the song is yours. You do what you want.
No.
But you can't do that.
No.
You know.
It must make sense.
I used to anticipate, I'll be honest with you. Based on your melody, and you have a way of putting in a lot of words sometimes somewhere.
Yep.
I said, but
Tie me up.
they're going to mess up, Sako,
Tie me up.
I did it twice, and the twice I predicted, they happened.
A bus.
Yeah, because of the melody. You see,
the flow.
The melody there, and then the thing pack up awards. But I think
That's one of my weaknesses.
when you got a good melody, you're good to go.
You don't need
good to go. But I could tell when there's too much in between there.
The metering.
Yeah, too much
metering.
in between there. Yeah, but them guys don't attack you about that already.
That's all right. That's okay.
But you go on and you go on and go on. I'll tell you the truth. You like this and that over in Newrish. You're one of my favorite Calypsonian. In that I like to listen a song and the clarity. You could hear every single word. That is when your throat start to mess up as me. That's why I can't afford to lose. Sacco at this.
Gotta go again.
Yeah. Let us take a break and come back.
Near and far. Join Newrish Nital on Sugar Soda 90.3 for Fear Nor Favor.
Where is the dancer man who wanna come out for war?
Tune in to 90.3 on your FM dial. Log on to SugarCityFMSankits.com or download Simple Radio app from the Google Play Store. And join Newrish Nital every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. as Newrish Nital tackles the issues and take your call. Fear Nor Favor. Every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on Sugar City 90.3 FM. Fellow citizens, near and far, Join Newrish Nital on Sugar City 90.3 for Fear No Favor.
Where is the dancer man who run come out for war?
Tune in to 90.3 on your FM dial. Log on to SugarCityFMSaintKitts.com or download Simple Radio app from the Google Play Store. Enjoy Newrish Nital every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. as Newrish Nital tackles the issues and take your call. Fear No Favor every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on Sugar City 90.3 FM.
nation, building a brand new nation. We move
Good evening. Welcome back to Fear Now Favor with our guests, many times crowned Calypso King. But how many times you would have gotten that crown?
6 national, and aggregator 17.
17?
Yep.
Okay.
King of Kings by local, regional, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, congratulations. A lot of people seem to forget that at times.
And they normally call me the former Calypso King. Have some respect. It's a multi-crowned. It's always a former. Every time they introduce anyone, oh, the former, hey, I'm still here. Have some respect. I'm multi-crowned. Say that.
Well, let us say that then.
Huh? It's a multi-crowned.
I don't believe, though, to be honest, when you're having a Calypso competition, you should talk anything about the MC.
They should
be
not.
saying anything about the reigning Calypso King or reigning Calypso Monarch.
Defending.
You're
not the defending. It's neutral that night, but you're not the reigning, you're the defending.
And I don't wish to hear that either. The reason being that you bring people from overseas to judge. They don't know who is who. We're depending on them to listen to songs them and objectively adjudicate. When you put in this qualifier, the defending or the reigning, somehow you're introducing a bias into the minds.
I'll
And
buy
the
that.
judges who are supposed to adjudicate.
I'll agree with you.
Just like when they have a queen show, they're telling you who the chaperone by. That's not supposed to be.
You have to
Because
give kudos to the chaperone.
Yeah, you see. So
But if you locally know who the sponsors are, you might tend to. Somebody have shares in the company.
Okay. Suzette Mitcham, okay. She usually will produce good material. So you don't start to judge and put down points before the person even perform or take the stage. I think this chaperone thing, I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I don't believe in that. And this other explanation, they stay up on the stage and explaining every single thing that the contestant is wearing. Man, you got to look at a show. You should have your own appreciation of what you're seeing, whether this match with that, whether everything is contextualized properly. I don't believe in the people helping out. Because you don't have that for Calypso. Yeah, you sing a song, and some people can interpret the song for themselves. That is why you see some people that talk in between verses. You let them know what's coming up next. You understand? And I really admire those people.
Okay.
Because some people that get it wrong, Sako. Some people do get it wrong. And it's nice to give you a little commentary in between. Some people don't like it.
If you have the presence of mind to do it.
And some people feel like you're mouthing off the part of the instrumental that's supposed to be playing. Some of them don't like it. What's up happened to that? It keep you in the groove, keep you alert as to when to come in, when... Yeah, and I just feel like is a part
The
of
true
the
Calypso judge are those who are supposed to be versed in Calypso. That's tradition.
Mm-hmm.
That's tradition. You have to understand why they do it and go with the flow.
Right.
Now, sometimes when you come on before it's a baba day, you're actually clearing your voice. You're making sure that you're in key.
And something you got to see if the monitors them operate.
That happened to me, man. I come on stage one year and there was supposed to be a sound check.
Yeah, and they did not.
And I'm
have it.
coming, but the monitor over here is not on, and I'm going on there and this and that. And I'm checking the screen and then bam, a bus. Because the people I put in place to look at certain things, they mess up. So I am on stage and I'm angry. When I did this song about Kim Collins them, show about to start. And the thing start, but there's no audio. And I'm thinking it has to be synced to what I'm singing about now. So I'm looking to see if the screen is reflecting where I am in the song. Bam, boss.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, he was again. Even last year, when I said to me, well, what are these people doing on stage? He said, forget about that, focus on the song. So I started singing angry because I planned a proper presentation. Those people were not supposed to be on stage ahead of me. So I come on stage and all my pops on stage like, what is this? Hey, forget about that, man.
But it's also important for you to, they like to say, utilize the stage. You got to move across the stage and see where they have dead areas on the stage, you know. the monitors
I know.
are not giving you the feedback
I know.
that you're looking for. If you got to sing without monitors, but it's hell but cruise going across there, and you're just hoping that you drop the right place at
It
the
happened
right
to me
time.
that year. As a matter of fact, I actually heard Congress when he came on said the monitors, but I was already, did I mess me up?
You done gone.
I was the first on stage.
Yes.
And these are things that we take in. And I heard Astro say again, him done this time, done for good. But on the year they called Richie Bunton, he came off stage, angry boy, me done, me now go back, this, that. And then I let him rant and rave and rant. Next they call him King. Him yes King. I said, tell me something, are you Calypsonian? He said, yes. Says, well, how would you let that one decision make you not sing, blah, 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 blah. So you know, wait. You know the next year he won? The very next year he won. So I don't
You
understand
got to persevere, man.
how is it he done again.
Yeah,
But they say he got to sing for the 50th anniversary.
that's next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50.
So he done for
Ain't
now.
quite 50, but
Well, what they say?
you like to count in some things here when they're not full-fledged.
Yeah. So for Carnival lovers, for the 10 supporters, we, and I'm speaking for both tents, have a lineup of Calypsonians who are happy to come present our material to you as soon as possible. I think Proud Sounds launch on the 9th. I launch on the 5th of next month. So you're going to have at least 110 per week. Come on, please, and support, because the Calypsonians, as you would have heard, do not have the industry to go to the studio and this and that. We present what we can for you for your best. In my case, sponsors is my challenge. Is that grammatical?
Yeah.
Sponsors is
Sponsors are.
sponsors are my challenge, and I would like to appeal. I have at least dedicated sponsors over the years, but since the COVID thing, I would have lost that platform. So it takes a certain amount to really float the tent properly, pay due respect to the Calypsonians. As I said, we have Calypsonians coming down from Nevis at the end of maybe 11 o'clock at night. We have to get them over the southeast to the water taxi to get home. And from there, they have to find themselves wherever they live in Nevis. It's hard.
I wonder if something cannot be put in place to accommodate them when they come down and give them the flexibility of going up whenever in the morning.
Well,
If somebody has to go, he has to go. But then they must have the flexibility and the choice, the option.
accommodations.
Look, I want to hang around down here some more.
Well, the problem with that, we were supposed to have the bridge ready.
Yeah, Sea Bridge.
The bridge would have been great. Not the sea bridge. Put the bridge in place. So then you can't tell your wife, well, I can't come home tonight because the boat ain't running. She'll come down on the bridge and catch you.
And it's not a matter of being unfaithful. It's just a matter of just wanting to relax after you finish and take in a bit of the atmosphere, get some feedback from some people.
Well-
So you have people who listen and they could give you some feedback. You'll see me in the crowd, you say about how I went down. You know, but if you got to hurry up and go over south,
You mean the final night or the
anytime at all they come
Okay.
down, because they need some feedback during the tent as well too. Sometimes you song. I could remember going by Ip one time, and a particular Calypsonian was there, and I see he was struggling to get a second song together. And I call all who was expecting to see me. I tell them I'm gonna be out for another 5, and I stay right there, and you understand? He made it through to the finals.
Okay.
When you find somebody really keen on competing, you got to try to help them. And this hustle come down, hustle go up, got to stop.
Well,
accommodate the people.
we have Abernathy, who is now the chairman of Calypso in St. Kitts, and he's also in charge of Nevis Affairs. Well, whatever that.
Is the chairman?
You didn't know?
No.
You didn't get the memo?
No.
He's the chairman of Calypso. He chaired the meeting there. Well, the carnival chair showed up. Of course, Monarch is the director. She showed up, made a few brief contributions, then she left. But Abernathy is the chairman of Calypso. He's also in charge of Nevis Affairs. So I've sought his assistance in assisting me with those Nevis and Calypsonians coming back and forth. Because it's a cost to me. And that is why I appeal to sponsors. Please come aboard the Legends. We have a good brand. We give you X amount of weeks of marketing. We only ask him 10 grand. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to call his name because he asked me not to. But there's a national living overseas who, had he not assisted me with 5,000 US last year, I'll be in the red. A gentleman from St. Gates, a die-hard Calypso fan. He said, King, he liked the tent, he liked the history of the Calypso, he liked that. And he offered to assist me. It was great. That came in handy. A national of St. Kitts put his hand in his pocket and sent me 5,000. I was able to meet my obligation. And that's why I told the Carnival Committee. When you take away the semi-finals from us and put your all-star band in place, the band members would have worked so hard throughout. You actually robbing them. Give them a chance. It used to be the band that had the most in the finals would play.
But I don't see nothing wrong with it.
It used to be 25,000.
I don't.
1 year, Wingo realized, boy, Legends going to win. So you see, you know what? Let's forget about that. Let's both play. So you wasn't paying 25,000 to Legends or 25 to Godmaster. We shared the 25,000.
Proportionate to the number of Calypsonians?
No, down the middle.
12-5.
Because both bands played.
12-5.
So rather than one band play and the next band play, because you would have to go to the band house to rehearse again, we shared that 25,000. So it wasn't 50 paying out. It was the same 25,000. But both bands decided to share it. That would insist in all-star band because this country have this and this and that and that. I just gave up. Because in that meeting, it was 3 against 1. The director, Monarch, the carnival chair, Shannon Harley, and chairman of Calypso, Abernathy. And I fought them as I feel I'm really disappointed, I'm very discouraged. Let the band play, let those guys
But how do you intend to do it?
From semi-finals forward, the all-star band kicks in. So from the time the tents are over now, all Legends Calypsonians have to find their way to Godmaster's Band House to rehearse again.
So that is
Put us straight.
That is where the all-star band
starts from semi-finals.
Yeah, but where would they have the practice?
Well,
would it have to be down?
It was determined that it has to be a neutral place.
So where the neutral place?
There's some place identified by. I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay, no problem.
I'm not at liberty to say. Which is a good place if you get it. It's central, rather than go up there.
Yeah, I think down there is a bit crowded. And the Calypsonians, they have the issues because you got to practice and half the band showing up. You got to practice the next time.
That's the issue again.
Another half showing up.
We've had that challenge with Legends also.
But why?
Well, sometimes because I have players from Nevis.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to schedule when everybody can be there. We didn't have that last year so much as in previous years.
Because
we have guys leaving work coming straight there. Some people work in shift. So we've tried to address that. And in Nangar, the trumpeter told me that it's the first time in years he's seen Legends being that prepared that early in the season.
But that's what I was about to tell you. The guy comes on from Nevis, the keyboardist, my good friend. What his name is?
Macefield Shafter. We spoke yesterday morning. He was in Antigua with the netballers. So then again, there are times his duty calls and he's got to deal with that.
He's a trainer?
He's a trainer.
When the tournament gone over, because I realize I'm seeing comments and so, but I'm not seeing anything on the television.
I don't know.
We should have done start to see Calypsonians performing on the TV. And I believe...
Even from last year?
Yeah. I believe that the 40th anniversary, you could have had a replay of the 25th anniversary and put a little change in the fellas and pocket.
But that program has come from whom?
Hmm?
Who?
The organizing committee, I don't know who you got to come from, but it would be nice. Remember one time there was such a lovely finals that people asked for it again. You remember, you and Sashi had a ding-dong.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Yes, man.
I would say, because people don't know, it was...
You don't remember that?
I'm joking.
Oh, because I missed the show. But when I came home from university, they told me that this show was going to be...
Repeated? Replicated? was the first time
Yeah.
in the history of Calypso that people paid to see the final night replicated, well, twice. People paid to see, it was the first time ever in the history of Calypso in the region, you had a final night, and people didn't go to the show. Based on what they heard, I put down a performance, a presentation, kill on the road, knock them dead. People paid to go and see it again.
I think you won the
Of course.
show.
Starship went to every judge. He wants to say all the score sheet. But was the performance. And I didn't win that show by myself. I had to win. Win had a troop on the road with some accident victim.
Win Collins.
Win Collins. His sister was one of the nurses, so that was part of it. This policeman, he used to be at the fire station, Marcus Spoon, or Marcus Stick.
Marcus Stick.
Yes. Warner, fire chief up the other time, he was the chief. They all came together to assist me. A friend of mine in Sandy Point gave me his motorcycle. The police gave me a police outfit, traffic, helmet, everything. So when I came on stage on the bicycle, I rode the bike on stage, the motorbike on stage, as a traffic cop. Google was a drunk driver. Collecting pension, being part of that same competition, lent me his car to use on stage. I got a golf cart from Figure Bay. Somebody had to go and ask on my behalf. So a lot of people came together to make that a success. So I can't say I won. Fella lent me his motorcycle on stage. It was not, and I came on stage and there was Google with a bottle of CSR. CSR had just hit the market. So he had the accident thing, we had the nurse there, and I went and I grabbed him by the scruff and pulled him out and reached in the car, took out the CSR. Right? People started, then when I took the mic, people realized, wait, that's not the police. That's Socrates. Aubrey York, I was going on stage. He was then the carnival chairman, late Aubrey York, bless his soul. And he stopped me. He took off my chain. He said, police don't wear chain on duty. So all the elements came together. And people cried. 30 points at the time was the biggest margin ever. A couple of years ago, was almost 100 points. But that was the first time I saw the big margin. And everybody, there was a judge I met the next day because Thomas William had him judge from Trinidad. So I'm home this Sunday, and the time I come to the airport went, the man said, I'm so happy for you. He said, I had a problem last night. I found myself giving you maximum scores. And I left the park early because I don't know if you're going to be right. He said, I found maximum scores.
An excellent show.
And so the people who didn't see it and heard the way they wanted to see a Calypso final night replicated. And people came up, but of course the props them wasn't back to that level. But look at it. People paid to see a showdown Calypsonians for a second time.
But
so you saw the second thing?
Yeah, I saw it, of course.
Kill on the Road.
Of course. Kill on the Road, my favorite.
1988. You wasn't... Well, I've had some wonderful successes on stage. I've had a fan base that has been loyal. I have people who keep me on my toes. They don't like me singing. That's okay. It's all part of it.
How about the props?
The props?
The situation now where they say that there will be no props.
For semis. For semis.
There'll be no prop for semis?
None. Craig had an issue with it. He left and said because when he won was because he used props. So you have an issue with not being allowed to use props for semis.
So why not? Too many Calypsonians? Some
I
songs can go down propless. They would not send
like that phrase,
message.
propless. And the semis is the hardest show to me.
You got to go over.
Because you're selecting from, say, 60. No, it's about, no, you're gone now from the eliminations. You're selecting 7.
Out of 16.
Yeah. Last year they went to 8 when they had the one song. I thought I'd go back to that. But, I go to these meetings now and they just say, hush. I can't be the only voice. There was an issue I challenged because there was a clause in the contract that says the winner must appear in 3 15-minute show to the carnival committee at their whatever with any other entity. And I asked them, who's the other entity? Suppose it's like Nital and we don't get on. Mm-hmm. And it can be must. Because if I have a paint show the same night, it clashes. So there should be a penalty clause. So we agreed to change the wording to maybe asked to. But you don't own me. I don't win. And you say I must appear 3 times, 15 minutes show. No. So there are things that we challenge, and we have the cooperation of they're going to go back, look at the draft, and then we look at it before we sign.
I really don't support the no pop. I'll tell you why. I could sing under the pretense that I'm a judge. So your props contained within you, or the person might want additional people on stage. So if my thing only needs for me to put on a weird
headpiece or whatever,
for a judge, and that will be sufficient for my song, why the other person can't be allowed to do what is sufficient
Well,
for his
here's
song?
why I didn't support them last week. When during COVID, and we were shut down, we were the only entity in the region producing a carnival. I was all about props because say people at home, they want to see a show. They want to see a show. And they say no props. And the Vision Calypsonians also voted against the prop because they think a soccer can big prop. And they would shut it down. I argued, let the people out there see a show. Let us bring on our best, this and that and that. Then they said no. Some of the same Vision Calypsonians have voted against props and St. Kitts during Culturama, the bottom props. So when it's convenient for some people, they want to, so I said nothing.
Maybe they feel, well, coming from Nevis is more difficult for them to mobilize their props.
Yeah, could be.
But you in Nevis now, so you can mobilize as much as you want.
That could be.
Yeah.
So I hush my mouth.
So you prefer props?
When it's, yes. I've been using screens lately because depends on what you have to portray.
They cut out that? They cut out
No.
that too?
No.
You can use that?
You can use the screens.
So what that is?
No, that's for the finals. But you can't have anything on stage during the semis.
But apart from the screens, you can bring out additional people?
For
For
the
the
finals, yeah.
But you must reach, it's like a relay, you know. You like a relay, you have to go to semi-finals.
Mm-hmm.
And some people best effort in the semi-final is what they take them over. Some people that try to hold back. I know people in the semi-finals say, see you at the finals.
They think so.
And they reach. You understand?
I hope I reach.
You got to put up.
The only
your
person
best.
guaranteed is the defending monarch. All of us have to go up there and put a medal. And you have Kamal and some other young, some new faces I've never seen before. Who knows? They may take it to the next level.
Kamal doing what?
Calypso.
But when I asked you what genre they did, you tell me that.
No, that was for the Independence Song Competition.
But they sing Calypso too?
I don't know. Well, the only person at Calypso was Navigator and myself for that competition. So whatever genre they use, I don't know. But this is now a Calypso competition. They will have to sing Calypso.
Oh, okay.
Before you go, I want to say good night to Petra Williams over there. Petra Williams over there in Antigua. She's that's the one I sent the link to. She's awesome. She's into Calypso. She's into culture. She was a lady who came here.
She was on the show. with
Yes, and she came then for, it was CPL. She was here for CPL, yeah, and this and that, and she listens, she runs a radio station over there. I think it's Point FM, if I'm not mistaken, and she's off with all things St. Kitts. They were the ones who, helped me to get to Antigua to do the workshop and, want to get me back over there. So, Petra, good night. I hope all is well. And glad you were able to tune to, what's the station name? Sugar City Walk?
Sugar City.
Sugar City FM? Okay, you might have segment on this on the news thing over there tomorrow. Yeah. Sly J actually works for her station.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So we reached the end of our discussion. You promised to come back on the 15th, hopefully.
Bring material, some new songs from legend side of things, some humorous songs. And I should be able to bring one of my entries for the 2024 National Carnival Competition.
Okay. So there you had it. We had multi-crowned Sacco with us. And he would have done a lot to keep the Calypso alive in the Federation. he would have written many songs, especially for the females. And I think at one time he might have had first, second, and third.
Yes.
Very often he would have had persons. And some of them would have made it to the finals as well.
And cut my ass.
And yeah.
With more song.
By the way, how put this? Where is Anastasia?
Religion. She's here. She's here.
But I
but
do not see her anywhere.
you may see her once a while. I forget what they call it. Out there giving out a week
Oh,
on Watchtower.
Jehovah's Witness?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. She's singing for Jehovah.
She's okay?
She's
she got
okay.
through with her.
Yeah, the first settlement served a certain purpose, but she sustained an injury.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost her, but the government had to up and pay because it was a driver, is when she was working for the Department of Culture.
Yes.
So there was supposed to be other surgery. As a matter of fact, one year we were contemplating bringing it back. But the vibration from the speakers, that could cause a problem. And then the lawyers would say, well, you not even a lawnmower.
You would deteriorate the condition. You
Yeah.
would worsen the condition. So
So
but the payments would have been completed.
the first set, as far as I know.
And she feel like the Almighty, our...
But you know she ain't
God.
easy, you know.
Huh?
You know she ain't easy.
I know.
Yeah, so if there's something owed to her, she's going to fight for it.
I know. But I haven't seen her in so long. I know she was going through the incident. I
Mm-hmm.
spoke with her.
She's missed.
Yeah.
She's a
She
force
was
on
the
stage.
independent show. She was on the TV. She's a real might on stage. I'm happy. You could give her my regards.
I shall.
And I'm certain that she turned that direction because she felt that that supreme being of which nothing can greater can be perceived was very instrumental in her recovery.
Singing for the Lord.
Singing for the Lord.
There you go.
Which church? Yeah, Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Give her my regards.
Most
Well,
certainly.
thank you for listening and keep listening because hopefully on the 15th of October we should have brand new release
Material.
from the multi-crowned Calypso Monarch and along with some music from his tent. Okay, so thank you for listening. Sako, thank you for coming.
Well, he asked me, he couldn't say no. Your name in Italian, don't care, you know. Right?
Yes.
And as I said, this was the first station on which we launched the Legends Calypso 10,
3
23
years ago.
23 años, what is that, ago?
No hablas español.
No habla español.
No.
You eat French?
No.
You speak French?
No.
But you don't eat French. Which one?
Chemistry, accounts.
Okay, it's been a pleasure. To all your viewers and listening audience out there, it's been a pleasure. I'm happy to be here. Hopefully on the 15th, we'll be able to bring some new material from the 23-24 National Carnival
Yeah, arrangements.
arrangement. Okay.
Yeah, muchas gracias and buenas suerte.
Habla español.
The opinions and statements made by the host and participants in this program are not